This man looking like $1 million. Nate Burleson is going to be on the NFL today for CBS, leading right up to the game at halftime and, of course, post-game crowning the AFC champion. Nate, welcome to Good Morning Football. We love having you here.
Looking like $1 million in freezing cold temperatures. That's cold, hard cash. But I'll be ready, baby.
Yes, you will. So, look, you've played in Arrowhead. You've been at Arrowhead against the Titans as a broadcaster a couple years ago in the AFC Championship game. Last year you were there against the Bengals. Yeah. Give us a feel for what Arrowhead is going to be like and what you expect now going for your third time for a playoff game.
It's going to be as loud as it's ever been. And I believe that Arrowhead understands what's at stake. You know, of course, these two teams, they know what it's like facing each other. The Bengals, they have a little bit of an edge. You got this cocky young team led by Joe Burrow, and he's going to go out there and try to do what he's been doing, and that's beat the Chiefs. Now, on the flip side, I think you hear the Chiefs understanding what's at stake as far as the narrative of this game. You know, all of a sudden, the Bengals, they got the Chiefs' number? Really? And if I'm a player in that locker room, we talking about us? You're talking about the team that won a Super Bowl more recently, the team that has one of the best quarterbacks of all time, a team that has put together a run of 5 consecutive AFC title games. You're talking about the Bengals having the advantage on us. So they're going in with their mindset on rewriting the narrative. But as far as the stadium, the fans know that too. It will be loud. It will be crazy. And I'm good with that. For 4 quarters, I want it loud and crazy. But at halftime, all I'm asking, hey, just don't put no speakers behind us when we're trying to talk. We want to give the fans what they want, all right? And they like to hear us speak.
Squeaking in the back seats. Oh, talk about it. No speakers. Have the speakers blasting. I love it, Nate. You talk about rewriting the narrative. Brock Purdy has continued to rewrite the narrative of his young career. He could possibly become the first ever rookie quarterback to take his team to the Super Bowl. How does he get that done? What is the key for him against the Eagles?
3 keys, and there's 3 things that he's going to have to fight up against. One is that explosive offense of the Philadelphia Eagles. We know that they can put up points. They can do it in the air, do it on the ground. As long as he can keep up with the points that the offense is scoring, they'll have a shot. Defensively, the Eagles, they're fast. They go out there and they make plays. So he's going to have to do what we're seeing right here, take care of the ball and keep it away from their linebackers and DBs, because these DBs, they will try to turn PBUs into INTs. And that's what this defense does. After the offensive line, the defensive line collapse the pressure, makes quarterbacks uncomfortable. That's when the back end comes in. And then third, and I think this might be the most important key of all, he's going to have to not only beat the players on the field, he's going to have to beat the fan base. This fan base for the Philadelphia Eagles, if you haven't played there, it gets wild. It gets nasty. And they're passionate. I would say some of the most passionate fans in the business. And I know we've been talking about how this fan base can't get nasty and don't wear an opposing team jersey. I'm not going to say that. I mean, listen, there's some Eagle fans, they downright dirty, and they talk crazy. And that's cool. As long as they don't put your hands on you, I'm good with that. So Brock Purdy's going to have to face this new type of energy that he hasn't faced before. Just think about it. During these 7 games that he has won, we're giving him credit. I'm not taking anything away from him. But he's only had 2 games on the road. That's Seattle and Las Vegas. Okay, so Seattle, not a bad place to play, right? I know what it's like to play there. But then Las Vegas, they were a team that was basically stumbling their way out of playoff contention. So he hasn't had a test like this on the road in the playoffs up against the best team in football. So those are the 3 keys.
It's true, Nate. And when you talk, people get hyped. It is just what you do. It is one of your gifts. One of your gifts is also surprising us at the table, sometimes with your musical taste. I know once you leaned on your Seattle roots and we're talking about your familiarity with grunge. You once did a whole monologue on the show about the Goo Goo Dolls. It's not all the things that you usually are into. So, Nate, that leads us to this. Pre-game playlist. What would be a track on a pre-game playlist for you that would be considered maybe a guilty pleasure hype song?
Yeah, you're talking about Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun, one of my favorite songs ever.
Yeah.
But as far as pregame playlists, listen, I can go Biggie, Pac, I can go Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Wayne, T.I., Nas. I can do all of that, and that's on the list. But you're talking about guilty pleasure? Something that if you just popped open that headphone, you'd be surprised? Man, give me Britney Spears. Till the World Ends remix featuring Nicki Minaj. You wouldn't even expect that, but I'm telling you, Nicki Minaj came on that track and she was doing her thing. And then Britney, Oh, man, Britney left Earth on that track. So, yeah, I love that song, and if you haven't heard it, listen to it right now, all right? It's one of the best songs ever, especially before a football game.
That's
one of the best songs ever.
Nate's back.
Jam.
Move over, Hey Jude.
Yeah. It's an absolute jam, Nate. I could not agree more. Nate, it's my pleasure to congratulate you. Your resume has now bled onto a third page.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's some exciting news we want to celebrate on the show. Next Thursday, you will be inducted into the East-West Shrine Bowl Hall of Fame.
Cool.
College football's oldest all-star game. What was your reaction when you heard this news?
I was blown away. Almost 20 years ago, I got this call that I'd be participating in the East-West Shrine game. And as a college football player, that's what you want. You want to be acknowledged as one of the guys. And, you know, I immediately went to my wife and I showed her, and she was happy for me because we were just young kids in love at that time before the journey of the NFL started. But this was the first opportunity I had a chance to stack up against my peers. You know, when you're in this bubble playing against guys within your conference, you necessarily don't know, but there's only a few opportunities. There's the All-Star game and the Combine, and for me, this was the first step knowing that I was as good as all of these other dudes that I've been seeing on TV, and as good as some of these guys that have been to bigger programs and are more appreciated than me at that time. So it's going to be a great week. East-West Shrine game. Check it out. You know, I'll be in Vegas celebrating with my wife, and I'm going to say a little something, drop some gems on the guys that are involved in this game.
That's so cool. Nate, we love it. Congratulations.
Oh, yeah, we do.
And we've heard so many stories about you and your wide receiver class, and it was Andre Johnson and it was Charles Rogers, and those guys got all the fame, but you were a third-round pick and you had an amazing 11-year career, and we love you for it. Real quick, last year, that Applebee's song with Walker Hayes was on in the background. I just looked it up. Do you know who the halftime performer is for Sunday? Are you aware?
Oh, no.
I'm not aware. Who is it?
Can I spoil this for everybody?
Yeah, we go.
Nate, Fat Joe is performing. Fat Joe is performing. Take it away, dude.
That's your guy.
So you know what's going to happen. I'm going to be out there trying to do my thing, professional as usual. Hey, listen, Joe Burrow has to stay in the pocket, and if they could keep him in the pocket, then all of a sudden Fat Joe going to start performing. I'm going to get up and I'm going to just be like, okay, all right, Fat Joe. A lean back. Okay, all the way. Hey, I'm about to leave the desk. And don't be surprised if you see me on the field performing with Fat Joe.
Oh, my God. That is so good. See, Nate can do that, and then he can reference Black Hole Sun. Well, let's be honest, it should be called White Hole Sun. But, Nate, you're incredible. The quintuple threat, whatever you are at this point, we love you.
Well done, Nate. Good luck this weekend.
I love you, too. Thank you. Appreciate y'all, man. You too.
Oops, you did it again.
Will Selva. Nate's on fire. Will Selva. Nate just compared a Britney Spears, Nicki Minaj remix from like a couple of years ago to Hey Jude and Yesterday.
Some experience, someone who's been a head coach before, someone who could come in and right the ship and set the culture and really do all of the things, really run this organization properly. I think that's one thing they're looking for. And then someone to help come in and fix the quarterback position. Frank Reich's specialty. That is obviously the next focus for the Panthers, but he gets a 4-year deal in Carolina, finalized yesterday afternoon. Frank Reich, the new head coach for the Panthers. Meanwhile, the Jets have already a head coach, but they didn't have an OC until yesterday morning. Nathaniel Hackett, the former head coach of the Denver Broncos, he now becomes the person in charge of helping find the next quarterback for the Jets and helping teach and coach that person, whoever it is, whether it's his old friend in Green Bay, Aaron Rodgers, far-fetched, but we'll see, or whether it's some other veteran out there. That is mission number one, but the Jets get Nathaniel Hackett as their offensive coordinator after Saleh interviewed 15 different candidates. And then for the Dallas Cowboys, big news for them, and nothing happened. Nothing changed. But that means that Dan Quinn is not leaving for a head coaching job this year. He called all the teams who are interested, including the Cardinals, including the Colts. He officially pulled out, so he is now staying in Dallas for another season.
Rap sheet, thank you. That's all very important stuff to know. But now hang out, because now we get to play hook and lateral. And Will Selva's here too, so we can just ping pong across the board and we get to ask each other questions. You got to answer on the fly and then lateral that ball across the field and keep playing. Jason, you're up first. If everyone knows the ball is going to Travis Kelce, what's the defensive game plan for Cincinnati against him?
Well, you got to mix up the looks when it comes to a guy like Travis Kelce. You can't go into the game and say, you know what, we're just going to put this one guy on him and let him defend him by himself all over the field. For Lou Anarumo, this is what he does, mad scientist. He's going to come up with different looks and put different guys on him. Trey Flowers is a guy who we can see at the line of scrimmage pressing and being aggressive with Travis Kelce. We may even see guys like Henderson out there on him, just giving him a hit off the line of scrimmage.